Hello everyone, I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our next matchup for UFC Perf. In this one, we got Colby Thickens versus Josiah Musasa. Thickens is 7-1 as a professional, 4-1 in his last 5. Meanwhile, Musasa is 8-1 as a professional, and similar to Thickens, 4-1 his last 5. Now, these two are basically the same in how they are right now in their careers. Both of them has just suffered the loss in their UFC debut. For Thickens, he fought at UFC 312 and lost his debut on short notice, mind you, to Alexandra Deportia. Meanwhile, Musaya lost his debut to Carlos Vera in March, where he got caught with a head kick, then choked unconscious. Or, no, I'm sorry, he tapped on that one. So basically, this is a redemption for both these bantamweights as, honestly, I think they're pretty skilled, and I think with a good few more years under their belt, they're going to be much better. But right now, one of them needs to suffer the second loss of their career, and let's see who it is. For Thickens, he's pretty well-rounded. I wouldn't say he does anything spectacular, but he does everything at just the right level right now. He has good striking, he's got good grappling, and he's got good wrestling. And I know he lost, and I thought he lost, 30-27 to Topuria, and I'm pretty sure that was the scorecards. I did think he at least made Topuria look average. Like, he was able to hold his own in the striking for certain extents, especially in the grappling and in the wrestling as well. Overall, I do think, especially with Thickens, where he trains at, training with Volkanovski and all those guys at City Kickboxing, definitely leads to a lot of success, and I believe in the long run is going to help him out. As for Musasa, everything he throws is with power. He is an exceptional athlete at bantamweight and definitely hits with a lot of power. You've seen in his regionals videos how he has dynamite in his hands and his feet. First round, he is extremely dangerous and extremely explosive. The question becomes, how good is that in 3 rounds? Well, you saw in his Contender Series fight, he can fight through exhaustion pretty well. He did get the win, albeit split decision, and he did it through having to be dogged, needing more cardio, and just going through a relentless storms of mostly takedown defense in the clinch. But even in the loss to Vera, you could see how dangerous his striking was. He hurt Vera on multiple occasions. It's just he didn't want to get into the guard of Vera, which is fair. As a Ryan Hall prodigy, he's dangerous with his leg locks. Now, of course, there's defensive lapses in Musaya, as you saw when he did get caught with a right hand, same side head kick that followed right after hitting Musaya squared in the face. Now, Colt Thickens does not fight like that. He does not strike like that. He's not Taekwondo in any way like that. But it's something to keep in mind that there are some defensive lapses with Musaya. And maybe he's more raw than I think of Thickens, as it's mostly power and explosiveness that defies Musasa's game. Now, can he get better and add some explosive takedowns? Absolutely. But right now, if we're looking at their skill levels as two fighters who are, not even 10 fights into their careers, we've seen what they can do right now. Thickens, I believe, is more well-rounded and has a good skill set, but nothing that goes, oh my god, it's amazing. Nothing like that. Musaya, his speed, his power, his attributes are like, holy shit. But right now, he's not well-rounded to a point where I'm going, he can do everything. He can strike, for sure. Can he wrestle and grapple? To an extent. He does have good takedown defense, and his submission defense was pretty good. I know, you can say, oh, but it got submitted. Yeah, but, you take a head kick and then they're going to go for the rear naked choke. I highly doubt you're going to be all that aware to defend a rear naked choke after trying to clear the cobwebs. So I don't take that as a submission defense deficiency. But that is something to keep in mind, I will say. I think the question becomes, what happens after the first round? Because in the first round, Musaya is extremely dangerous. And that's usually when his attributes are at their peak, is in the first round. The question becomes, can Thickens survive that? Maybe. We saw him survive against Topuria after landing, even with Topuria landing some really good boxing combinations. But you could feel at times, I think, Topuria just let off the gas a little too much in that fight. I don't think the same is going to happen with Musaya. But I think overall, I'm going to go with Colby Thickens. Now, there are some worries I have, mostly in the attributes that they have. Now, they're not too different in terms of height, 5'7" to 5'8", respectively. Reach, again, it's a little worrisome. 69-inch reach for Thickens, 74-inch reach for Musasa. So there is definitely some worry about that. But I believe Thickens is game enough to survive the first round, and afterwards, I think he can drag Musasa into deep waters and drown him. That's where I'm leaning at with this fight. I think Thickens is not so much experienced enough, but I think he trains with such a good team, and I believe he has the other tool sets, like I've been saying, that I think he can drag this into the depths, drown Musasa, and probably clean to a decision is what I'm feeling. I don't think he's going to finish Musasa. Now, if there were a finish, probably submission. It's what I have to pick. As for the odds, plus 140 for Thickens, minus 170 for Musasa. So, make with them what you will. It's another underdog I'm picking so far on this card, but I just think Thickens just has more tools at his disposal, and I believe he's got a better gas tank than Musasa. So, with that being said, my official prediction, I'm going to go with Colby Thickens. I'm going to lean towards a decision as my final prediction. Now, with that being said, Ed, that's all I have for this prediction. If you liked it, comment and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Next up, we will have Andre Petrowski versus Cameron Rouston. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Take care.